Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. GeoDjango and PostGIS, episode 1 of 15. Have you ever tried to calculate the distance between two latitude and longitude points using a regular SQL query? You usually end up writing a massive, fragile block of trigonometry just to figure out which coffee shop is closest. Standard databases simply do not understand physical space. Resolving this data gap is exactly what we cover today in the power of spatial web frameworks. People often think storing geographic data just means adding two decimal columns to a database table, one for latitude and one for longitude. This is a common misunderstanding. If you are building a food delivery routing system and need to find the closest restaurant to a customer, a standard database treats those coordinates as arbitrary floating point numbers. It does not know the Earth is a sphere. It cannot efficiently calculate boundaries, intersections, or real-world distances. You are forced to pull thousands of records into your application memory and do the math yourself. This is where a spatial database steps in. PostGIS is a spatial extension for the PostgreSQL database. It changes the fundamental way data is stored. Instead of two separate number columns, you store a single geometry or geography object. A spatial database natively understands the math of the physical world. It knows what a point, a line, and a polygon are. If you want to find all restaurants within a 2-kilometer radius of a user, PostGIS uses specialized spatial indexes to find the answer instantly at the database level. But a smart database is only half the solution. You still need to connect that spatial logic to your web application. This brings us to GeoDjango. GeoDjango is a world-class geographic framework built directly into Django. It acts as the bridge between your spatial database and your application logic. GeoDjango extends Django's standard object relational mapper so it can understand PostGIS geometries. You interact with geographic data exactly like you interact with regular database models. Instead of writing raw spatial SQL queries, you use Python. You can filter database results based on spatial relationships, like checking if a restaurant's delivery zone polygon contains a specific user address point. GeoDjango translates your Python code into the correct PostGIS queries. It even includes map widgets for the Django administration panel, so you can visually create and modify geographic data right out of the box. Together, PostGIS and GeoDjango form an incredibly capable stack. PostGIS handles the heavy mathematical lifting at the storage layer, and GeoDjango provides the clean Python interface to serve that data to your users. You stop fighting complex trigonometry and start building actual location-aware features. Here is the key insight. The true power of a spatial framework is not just drawing lines on a web map. It is shifting complex spatial mathematics completely out of your application code and into a database engine built specifically to understand geometry. If you are finding these deep dives helpful, you can support the show by searching for devstories.eu on Patreon. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Go build something cool.